Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome, everyone. We're here today, brand new Cabral Concept, our favorite way of starting the week with our Mindset and Motivation Monday show. Can't wait to go over all of the different details of today's show. This is one I've just been thinking about over the past, I would say 2-3 months as I've been putting together the New Year's plan, the 12-week year that we talk about so much, and how you can truly manifest all of that which you desire. And that really means setting the goals that you want to achieve in your life based on your hopes, your dreams, and what you feel is your true potential. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up is because sometimes people set goals that aren't really their own, meaning they start to visualize things, or they start to ask for things, or journal of things, or cut out photos of things that might be nice to have, that maybe their friends have and they think that they should have as well, or family members have and they think that should be a part of their life too. But the truth is, none of those things will most likely ever come to fruition, meaning you will most likely never manifest those, and that simply means make happen in your own life without what we're about to talk about here today. So in the past, if you've come up with goals, if you set a vision for yourself, if you visualized, if you try to use the law of attraction, if you've journaled about these specific things and they haven't come true yet, there's a reason why. And I always found it interesting because I didn't know this myself. And again, I'm coming this from a health-based perspective, but you have to understand is that I was someone that was very, very sick for a good decade. From about 17 years old to 27 years old, I didn't know if I ever would get well again. Autoimmune issues, Addison's disease, fibromyalgia, insomnia, mast cell activation syndrome, POTS, all these issues, right? All these massive, massive issues. And I didn't know, because I didn't know anybody who'd ever overcome them. And so I didn't know how I would be able to either. But after many years of being sick, I stopped worrying and thinking about the sickness itself, because it was such a big part of my life. It became a part of my identity, which I would later have to break with, because you will never get well if you identify with the disease. And I've done a show on that as well. That's very, very important. The only people that I've ever seen relapse or not be able to overcome a dis-ease in the body are those people that truly identify it with it. Like, it is such a part of them that without it, they wouldn't even know who they are. And that is very, very sad, but it is very many people in the world. And we simply need to work on that as well. And IHP need to be teaching that through IHP mastery principles and other things in order to be able to change the mind and not just the body. But let's say you're setting any goal. It could be a relationship goal. It could be a spiritual goal. It could be a financial goal. It could be a body transformation goal, or yes, a health goal. We have to understand is that it's not enough to just visualize it. It's not enough to just wish the law of attraction will make it happen. It's not enough to write it down and journal it. And the reason why I say that is not to discourage you, because you do want to do all of those things. And I've shared with you really how to do that at a much higher level. And I'll go over that again. I'm happy to do additional shows on that as well. But it's looking at things as if it's already been done, right? That's a big part of it. So as you're setting those goals, just a little tip here, and as you're writing them down, you can either, if you don't say like, meaning I am already healthy, I am healthy. Like, if you can't believe that, I understand, I get it, it didn't work for me either. But you could write down then qualifying questions. How did I overcome Addison's disease? Meaning now you're asking a question, but it already assumes the answer, the goal which you want, which is overcoming your health issue, or again, your relationship issue, whatever it might be. And then you put it into the positive. How did I become so healthy? And for me, it wasn't necessarily, because healthy has no connotation to it. We're going to be getting this. This is very, very important. So you can't just ask for health, because it has no meaning to you, right? It has no feeling. And again, hold on to that word feeling for a moment. But you have to ask yourself, I would say to myself, how did I end up with so much energy? How am I waking up every day without brain fog? How am I waking up every day with clarity of thought, reframing it to the positive, right? How is it every day that I'm able to get more done, twice as much done than I've ever been able to before in my life? How do I have all this natural energy without needing to use energy drinks or caffeine, right? How am I able to meditate now without falling asleep? So you're basically asking yourself all of these positive things. And so what are you visualizing? You're visualizing, no, I can meditate now without falling asleep. I can wake up without brain fog. I can wake up without being groggy. All of these things matter because you're starting to slowly but surely rewire the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the 95% of thoughts that we're having that are not conscious, right? They are the programs that run within us. So whenever you say to yourself, oh, I'm just that type of person, my family are just those types of people, this is the way that I've always been. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have none, et cetera, right? All of these things. And this is simply programming. And once you learn that, you're like, oh, I was programmed. I don't remember being programmed, but it's the truth. Before the age of 8 years old, we are essentially a blank hard drive where we are just downloading information from all around us. As a child, you could be doing 2, 3 things at the same time, and you're in this theta-based state, which is just enabling you to listen to your parents' conversations that they didn't think you were listening to listen to a TV show at the same time and play a game. You're absorbing all of it. That is how the human mind was programmed in those theta state waves in order for you to pick up everything you need to know to survive in this world. Because there's no way that you could simply say, oh, I'm going to learn this today as a child and this today. No, it's your body and brain was made in a way for you to be able to quickly assimilate what it's like to live in this world and to survive and stay healthy. And that doesn't always serve us as we become an adult because we have this safety and security issue around whether it's relationships, finances, career, your health, your body, and you see those things growing up. A lot of times, again, I saw things growing up. Everybody had their ailments. Everybody had their sicknesses. They're talking about their doctor's appointments. It was just normal. It was normal to have issues, right? It was normal to have health issues. It's just what happened when you got older. Now, I was only 17 when I got sick. That wasn't supposed to happen. But when your mind is working in this way and you're already filling up that rain barrel, right, with stress and, being the oldest born and putting pressure on yourself and trying to get good grades and do well in sports and relationships and friendships and all these different things. And when your dermatologist puts you on 3,000 capsules, basically 2 capsules a day of amoxicillin and antibiotics, well, it generally does what? It erodes your immune system, breaks down your gut, right? So those are all things that may have happened to me, but I share this with you because it happens to all of us, just in different ways. So when we go to set goals, we are not manifesting that which we write down, that which we visualize or we cut out photos for. And again, those are all great things to do. But if you haven't hit your goals yet, doing more of the same, unfortunately, is not going to work. Now, the nice thing is we just need to make a couple of tweaks to that. Set the same goals. Set the same vision for yourself. But as I was saying in the beginning of the show, make sure it's yours. Don't set the vision that your brother, your sister, your siblings, your friends, your family, coworkers have. Set a vision that means something to you. Because the truth is this, the missing part of why you haven't hit your goals yet is simply a strong feeling that you are able to carry with you. And I want to explain this in more depth. So I shared this in a previous podcast, and if you ever have difficulty finding a previous show on these things, simply ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. We will help you find that podcast. So again, in the past, I've talked about law of attraction, I've talked about vision boards, I've talked about the shortcomings, the great things, all of those things. But manifesting, I shared with you, this is written in the ancient texts, okay? So it's literally written down. It's written in the Bible. It's written in many ancient texts. And you'll hear these things if you're familiar with them. And it says, the two must become one, okay? That is the mind, but also the nervous system, the body. The body is the feeling. The mind is the thoughts. The feeling, so feel the feeling of the prayer already answered. Okay, that's from the Bible. Now, it doesn't have to be a prayer. It can be whatever you choose to call it. It can be a wish. It can be a desire. But you have to feel the feeling that it's already arrived. That's why I told you when you're writing in your journal, you have to talk as if it's already been done, right? You have to have faith in either yourself or a power outside of yourself, the universe, God, etc. And you'll remember this sentence most likely, ask and ye shall receive. But the problem is, and again, I shared with you with this as well, is that they actually removed, when the translation was happening many thousands of years ago, it was not just ask and ye shall receive. Here are the two original sentences. And I wish I could give, just off the top of my head, I believe his first name is Brian, but I will get you that. I'm going to give you the credit where credit's due, and I will link that up today at stephencabral.com/2544. And I'll actually link up this previous podcast where I gave credit as well. This is the translation. Ask without hidden motive. So not just ask without hidden motive, meaning like no judgment on yourself or whether this desire is worthy, and be surrounded by your answer. Okay, so we're asking without worry that this is a bad thing to ask for, that we truly do feel it is good for us, and be surrounded by your answer, that it has already been answered, that it's already done. And I've talked about this before, and this is so important. You must believe that it's already done, that whatever you wish for, whatever you desire, it is done. And I'm going to share with you why yet now it is just not manifested. But let me give you the second part of the original sentence. Be enveloped, feel as if, so be enveloped, meaning feel as if, by what you desire, that your gladness be full. Okay, so that means you are thinking of what you want without judgment. You're feeling that it is already done. You're feeling how amazing it would be if that desire, that goal does come true, and be grateful and glad now that it has. So what you have to understand is that you have to stop using your voice to ask, your pen and paper to ask. Feeling is the answer. Feeling has always been the missing secret. It is truly the key. And so you must make clear your future dream and make it present day. If you're always believing that your dream is coming, well, what are you telling yourself? That it's in the future. It is never now. So when do you get to desire that? When do you get to feel that? The feeling has to be now. So you must assume the feeling of your wish being fulfilled and that it's already happened. And that's from Neville Goddard. So he's written many, many great books as well. And so you need a clear, non-competitive thought, which is visualized and felt. So you achieving your goal and repeating it over and over until it manifests itself in the physical form. That would be me back in the day when I was sick. I would be visualizing myself feeling not healthy, but feeling energized. That's what I was looking for. That was the main thing of not being groggy, right? But you don't want the negative. So I would visualize myself waking up without needing any caffeine, feeling my clear thoughts, being able to go out there, work with clients, go off to work, smiling, feeling great, feeling that feeling. And so now we have to understand is we have a thought in our head and being transmitted from our subconscious. And if you're not familiar with frequency and vibration, these are real things in science. These are not, yes, on Tuesday through Sunday, I'm talking about, physical sciences. I'm talking about the properties of using all sorts of things, vitamins, minerals, omegas, at-home lab testing, functional medicine, naturopathy, bioregulatory medicine, etc. But our mind is very powerful as well. We can't forget that. And we do have to understand is that we do manifest positive and negative into our life. Again, it's hard to really believe that, assume that, but it is nonetheless the truth. And what I want to share with you is this. One of the reasons why we don't yet have what we desire is that we are not able to hold the feeling of it being fulfilled long enough in order to bring it into our life. So what we need to do is that all of the things that we do ask for can be assembled. They can be manifested into our life. But what happened is we feel that feeling for a little bit. And then what do? We go back to the other feelings 90% of the time. So we've got that feeling of, I want to feel energized. I do feel energized. I feel great. I have clarity of thinking. I wake up without brain fog. I have all the energy that I need in my life. But then what happens? We feel that feeling. We might even take a walk with it, which is what I love to be able to do. But then after that, I'm tired. I'm run down. The dog needs to go out. I've got to pick the kids up from school. I've got this deadline. I've got that. And we lose that feeling of that happiness, energy, and our desire being fulfilled. So what I share with you is this. It doesn't mean that it's easy, but that's also why, again, we're not always able to manifest these things. But I truly believe that you can manifest everything that you wish in your life. Now, some things may take a little longer, some things shorter. Why? The bigger the desire, the more that needs to be manifested, the more you need to hold on to that feeling longer. If it's something smaller, you're more likely to believe it yourself anyways, right? It's the bigger things that we need more faith, that we need to hold that feeling and have faith maybe beyond ourselves. That, hey, we've been able to accomplish other things in our life. Why not this? So as I always say, you must suspend disbelief even for a period of time. Even if you don't truly believe, suspend disbelief. Believe that it is at least possible for it to happen. And then again, there's no downside, in my opinion, to simply feeling good, to feeling grateful, for being thankful for that which you desire being brought into your world. And in time that will happen. So I ask you, continue with the journaling, continuing with the visualization, continuing with vision boards, asking, you will receive. There's no doubt about that, but I need you to do one more thing, and it is the true secret. You must feel that feeling of your wish already being granted. Get into the state of the wish being fulfilled. If you can get into that state and you can hold it for long periods of time, I think you'll be surprised as to how quickly you do manifest that goal this year. So thank you so much for tuning into today's show. Any questions, let me know. We are happy to help. And as always, if this show is helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.